evening and welcome to the Thursday edition of Sports Tonight on your award-winning Channels Television. I'm Yemi Adebayo. There's a lot to talk on the show tonight. As usual, we'll be taking you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. What are we going to do tonight for you on the show? There's a lot of football going on right now, talking about the Europa League. We're still going to be talking about the fallout of the 2016 Federation Cup. The match played yesterday. Many stories from that one, and we'll listen to the key players in that matter. We'll listen to them, those from Crown and those from Ifeanyi Ubah Football Club. We'll be listening to them on the show. We'll still be talking about the National Youth Games today. We'll be filling you in with what is happening right there. Hopefully, our friend Yinka Olewa will be joining us from Ilorin and telling us what is going on right there as we speak. There's good news for us concerning our players in Europe. They keep scoring, painting the town red with goals. We'll be talking about most of those players today. We'll also be talking about the news making the rounds about the NFF. And we have someone in the house who will be able to confirm to us whether or not what we have heard is true or they're just rumors. So we'll be doing that as well on the show. Well, it's Thursday. We'll step to the courts, give you a slice of basketball on the show. Femi Adefes is already in the house. I'll be doing justice to that. We'll start from home and travel abroad, talk about the NBA, talk about our players doing well overseas, and, of course, what's going down here, talking about the basketball in Nigeria. That's going to be the outlook of the show today. But, of course, let me just pause a little and bring you into everything that we're doing by letting you know that you are an integral part of the show, and that's why we invite you to join us, talk to us, and let's have fun on Sports Tonight. You can get your views across to us on Facebook. It is Channels iPhone Sports, and on Twitter, that verified handle that we always like to talk about, Channels_Sports. You can get your views, your opinion on issues raised on this program, like the ones that I just talked about. You can get your views across on them using those platforms we have on your screen. You can read all our top stories on www.channelstv.com. You can also view those stories on youtube.com/channelsweb. Of course, if what you have is your iPad, your iPhone, and BlackBerry, all you need to do is go to channelstv.com, follow the prompt, and of course, you will have Channels Television with you everywhere you go. You can take it a step further by downloading the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows. And of course, you will be taking Channels Television with you. No delay, no hindrance, no obstacle. You're going to have everything that Channels Television has to offer. Like we always tell you, we're global, we're international. So don't miss out on everything that we have to offer for you on the show. All right, let me quickly introduce my partners that start off the show with me tonight. So it's always a pleasure to have Wale Adigun with us. Let me start. Wale Adigun, let me quickly welcome you to the show this lovely Thursday evening.
It's great to be back once again, and it's been a fantastic week. Champions League football, Europa League football, like you hinted tonight. There's Manchester United in action, and
struggling at the moment.
From the home front, we were getting ourselves in the mood for the final match day of the season that promises plenty of drama.
Anticipated.
Yeah, very anticipated. Plenty of drama. There will be plenty of tears too. There will be plenty of celebration. So we are anticipating that one, and it's another good day to talk sports.
Okay, let me also introduce the next man that you've already seen. Tony Bitoye is here, Super Eagles Media Officer, our very own. Still sitting on the other side today. It's always a pleasure having you around.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Love to do this every time. And as you said, a lot of football is going on, and we're happy. A lot of our players are involved. John Ogu got involved for his club. They played a draw against Southampton. Anderson Eziti also got involved for his club. Brian Odeya is currently playing with his club. Nosai Gebo is also involved in the Europa League. And it's competitions like this that allow these players to improve and get into shape ahead of the World Cup qualifying games. And interestingly, all these guys are coming around. Yeah. Apart from Emmanuel Lumenike, who scored a goal for Fenerbahce, who is out of the team because he retired from the national team. We're happy to see that our guys are getting involved. It's Champions League, in Europa League, top competitions in Europe, prepare them for the national team. And we hope that they can bring that same quality, the same form that has seen them score a lot of goals for these clubs in these competitions to the national team, to our qualifying game, so that we can return to the glory days.
Okay, but before we go to football, guys, let's talk about the lawmakers and what they're doing. They have urged the National Sports Commission to take steps towards establishing a national anti-doping agency in the country, especially with what is happening around, a lot of athletes being tainted, and so that we don't get our names out there for the wrong reasons. The lawmakers are urging the National Sports Commission to take a step towards establishing a national anti-doping agency, which helps. It saves a lot of embarrassment. If you do your own house cleaning, nobody's going to, you know. I don't know how you feel about this. Do we need anybody to start telling us to do this, Wale?
I think it's a good step if we are serious about it. If this is not just lip service.
Okay.
If there's going to be willpower behind all of this. It's a good idea. I remember when we had the doping issue going to the Olympics. Jamie had to tell the athletes, hey, we are screening you guys before you go out there and get screened, and probably anybody gets caught. And I also know that we might have kept a clean slate in doping-wise, but also one or two athletes in Nigeria also have been, have featured when it comes to doping. But it's a good one, but you also know that it's a process. And it might take a long while, because it has to be rubber stamped by the law of the land, and there are a lot of bottlenecks you have to pass across, a whole lot of that before this is established. But it is very, very critical. Just like I feel that we also need an arbitrary process for our sporting issues, a court where we can deal with our sports instead of going to civil courts. Same thing also with anti-doping. It's
within our shores.
Yeah, very, very, very much important. But hey, Yemi, like I said, willpower is what's needed, not lip service at this point in time.
Anthony, anything to add? They've been asked to investigate the initial delays that the Anti-Doping Commission has not been set up and report back to the House in 6 weeks. You think the timeline is enough?
It's not something that's not going to happen overnight. There will be a lot that will go into it because they will need to guarantee how the operations will work, the funding, the independence of those processes, and work out all of those things. It's very expensive to do this test. So if we have one in Nigeria, it makes it a lot better for us. Not just for us, but for countries around us as well, who do not need to spend so much to get it outside to far-flung places. There's one in operation, I think, in South Africa.
Right now.
So this is one of the things we need to do to show
how serious we are.
We are serious about putting structures in place for our sport. So it's a welcome development, and I hope that we will set it up properly and be able to guarantee the independence and the funding, because these are very capital-intensive things. All these tests are not things that you go do half measures. You really have to go out there and make sure that everything you do is
foolproof,
up to standard, and guarantee transparency and independence of the process. So it's a welcome development.
Even for the Olympics, remember Brazil don't have one. They had to take their test to Paris for screening before they had to come back.
It's not something that you just think that we just show the wheel. Or
but the truth is we should have one.
We should have one here for Sub-Saharan Africa, which is going to be very huge.
Okay. All right, let's listen to the lawmakers, what they had to say, how they went about it, and we'll be back for more on Sports Tonight.
That the National Sports Commission obtained the first presidential approval under former President Olusegun Obasanjo to commence operations and to avoid sanctions. The government set up an anti-doping committee to serve as the country anti-doping agency on a temporary basis. Pending the establishment of National Anti-Doping Organization, NADO, concerned that up to date, the country does not have an operational anti-doping laboratory and still rely on foreign laboratories for its anti-doping analysis.
All right, welcome back. Like you heard, the emotion has been moved over when concerns have been raised over the lack of an operational anti-doping laboratory, despite the approval of such from past administrations for it to be established. All right, let's move on the show and go to Washington right now. Our friend Sonny Young is waiting, all smiles. He's waiting on the wings to talk to us, and let's go straight to it. Hello, Sonny. How you doing?
It's great to be back on Sports Tonight, and hello to all your Sports Tonight viewers all across Nigeria.
Thank you, Sonny. Let's talk about a piece of news making us happy in this part of the world. Our own Nneka Ogwumike. Just talk to us about it, all that you've been able to scoop up about Nneka Ogwumike and the award that she just won.
Yeah, big week for Nneka. She was named the WNBA's Women's National Basketball Association's Most Valuable Player. First time she's won that award, Yemi. She had a great season for the Los Angeles Sparks. Career high averages in points and rebounds, about 20 points and 9 rebounds a game for Ogwumike. And last night, she was really had a great game for the Sparks. You might say she sparked the Sparks. They defeated the Chicago Sky 95-75 in the first game of a best-of-5 WNBA semifinal series. Nneka scored 27 points and grabbed 10 rebounds in that game. The other star for Los Angeles was Candace Parker. She had 30 points and 10 rebounds. But, yeah, great season, and it looks like she could be one of the stars of the playoffs in the WNBA. Quick update in the other semifinal series. The Minnesota Lynx defeated the Phoenix Mercury 113-95. That also was the first game in a best-of-5 series. So the winners of those two series will meet for the WNBA championship.
All right, sorry, before we talk about the Paralympians, because that's where we want to go next, anything happening with the guys? Preseason plans for the upcoming season?
Well, right now, the NBA teams, they're in their preseason training camps all across the United States. They'll play some preseason games later this month. They'll begin some preseason games, and then the NBA regular season will begin. I believe it's the end of October. But one bit of news. Actually, there's been a lot of news in the NBA. Last weekend, Kevin Garnett announced that he will not be coming back with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we've basically lost two future Hall of Fame centers in the NBA. Tim Duncan retired during the offseason. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce of the other team in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Clippers, says this will be his final NBA season. I think Pierce is 39 years of age. So some of these older stars in the NBA kind of fading out, and it's, the league is becoming younger, but those are some of the names who have been making headlines in the NBA, which tips off in a few weeks.
Let's talk about the reception for the Paralympians in your country. Let us fill us in with how well they were received, and talk about the performance, how people felt about the performance. For the able-bodied, you were on top, but it wasn't the same. But the Americans still did well.
Well, Yemi, here in Washington earlier Thursday, it's been raining most of the day in Washington, but that certainly didn't dampen the enthusiasm of the Olympians and Paralympians. They were at the White House, and they had a chance to meet with President Obama and his wife, First Lady Michelle Obama. Great performance by both the Olympians and the Paralympians. On the Olympic side, the USA, I think they bagged like over 100 medals, 121 medals, tops among all countries. And the Paralympic team also did very well, Yemi. They finished fourth overall in the medals table at the Paralympics, 115 medals. China was the leading country at the Paralympics. But I like the fact that these disabled athletes, the Paralympians, were invited to the White House and basically received at the same level as Olympic champions. So I think overall a nice gesture by President and Mrs. Obama to bring them to the White House and honor their achievements here in Washington.
All right, so I want to thank you for your time on the show tonight, filling us in with what is going on right there in the United States of America. That's been our friend from the Voice of America, Sonny Young, telling us what has been going down. He talked about the WNBA and, of course, the Paralympians. We're going to pause now and go on a quick break. When we return, we'll come back to the domestic scene, talk about what is happening in the National Youth Games and what has happened in the 2016 Federation Cup. Join us again.